to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So everyone can hear me a little bit better. Good evening. We did have an executive session where we discussed some personnel issues. No votes were taken, just to keep us honest. Next is our public comment. The chair would like to recognize a resident or taxpayer of the Sayre Area School District wishing to address the board about a title programming or any other matter of concern or interest properly raised in a public session. We ask that you give your name and address and the subject of the content you will be addressing, and it's requested that comments be kept to 3 minutes. Moreover, please note that comments relative to private student or employee matters should be directed to the superintendent outside of this meeting. Other than that, just keep in mind this isn't a question and answer session, but we will take your comments. So if there's anyone that would like to address the board at this time, please come up to the podium. And no one did sign up ahead of time. So is there anyone that would like to address the board this evening? Okay, then we'll move along here. Moving down to the consent agenda. Item number 2 is the minutes for January 20th. Number 3, instruction, the field trip requests. That's letter A. And letter B is the comprehensive planning committee members. I won't go down through all the names here, but it is members of the 2025 Comprehensive Plan Committee. Letter C is the Sayre Area Board of Directors subcommittees. We'll be approving that this evening. Number 4, the consent for finance to approve the February bills as presented. Letter B, the new student activity account, and that is to approve that account for the Odyssey of the Mind. Letter C, the main electrical service at Sayre High School, a motion to approve the Keystone Associates Architects, Engineers, and Surveyors, LLC, to provide architectural and engineering services to replace the main electrical service at the high school building for $55,500. Letter D, the bleachers in the football stadium, it's a motion to approve Wayfair Sports Floors to retrofit the bleachers that are located on the west side of the football stadium at a cost not exceeding $145,000 through TIPS Cooperative Purchasing Program. Letter E, a request for proposals for transportation, a motion to direct the administration to prepare and advertise a request for a proposal, an RFP for the transportation of students for the 25-26 school year at the Sayre Area School District. The RFP should be inclusive of extracurricular activities transportation. Number 5, personnel, a motion to approve district personnel as presented. And that's everything on the consent agenda for this evening. Do we have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda?
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
What's the thoughts on total cost relative to electrical service? What's the estimated?
That's kind of why we're asking the Keystone to come in and give us an estimate, because we're thinking it'll probably be $2 to $3 million-ish, but we're not sure exactly ourselves, so wanted to get some experts to let us know.
And Barry, when was, I was going to say, how old is it? I mean, it can't be 100 years old, but.
It's pretty old. We're thinking it's from the 60s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So moved. Next on the agenda, number 6, is the rebranding of colors, and that is for the 2025 rebranding of the school official colors, which will be red and blue. And Dr. Delosio, if you want to show.
Sure, I'll share this information that, you know what, we should, the team had worked on this, a group of individuals, we did the rebranding of that component for the mascot and icon and all of that to happen. But we wanted to solidify the colors so that wherever whether you're doing digital print that was going to go on windows, whether you're having fabric dyed, that we all had the same one. So we pulled what W&J Graphics has, we pulled other colors and had a band, and so it is the ones that W&J Graphics have had on file, but we just want to make sure that if you order from anywhere else, that they're able to match, and these are universal or worldwide Pantone colors, and so we'll put this out to our entire staff, advisors, coaches, all of that information will go out so that everyone utilizes the same ones. We do understand that if you buy a brand t-shirt from Nike or Under Armour, that they have their stock colors, but this would be for any emblem that you would add for Sayre. Okay?
Very good. All right, do we have a motion and a second concerning the rebranding of the school colors?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? And it looks like we need a roll call, Mrs.
right.
Lucheko.
We'll begin with Mrs. Agnew,
Yes.
Mrs. Blythe,
Yes.
Mr. Hadlock,
Yes.
Mr. Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Commit,
Yes.
Mr. Petrini,
Yes.
Mr. Skirpa,
Yeah.
Mr. Cole.
Yes. Down to the reports, high school principal, Mrs. Ely, good evening.
I don't think this is on, but I think I'll get it. So good evening, everyone. I just wanted to make everyone aware that it's National School Counseling Week. I want to give a huge thank you to our school counselor here at the high school, Amber Schreiber. She is such an integral part of our high school team of leaders. She sits on our SSIP team, our SAP team, our CSBBH team. She attends county counselor meetings. She helps students daily with emotional regulation, peer interactions, decision-making, and self-reflection. She guides our upper-class students with completing their senior projects, applying to colleges, and seeking out scholarship opportunities. She runs several field trips annually so that our students can get exposure to NTCC and local leadership events. She maintains our compliance with our Chapter 339 requirements, and she is the co-advisor for our National Honor Society group. So we would be hard pressed to function without her. So thank you to Amber for everything you do. You are truly appreciated. And the only other thing I have to report on is next Saturday, the 15th, our Scholarship Challenge team will be competing at the Sayre Theater. So come out and support our students, enjoy the competition. It is quite fun to watch, and the games will begin that day at 10 a.m. That's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Ely. Mr. Howie, good evening. Assistant Principal's report.
Well, it's not so much assistant principals as athletic administration. We opened up the signups for the 25-26 school year a little early, but we're trying to make sure we have numbers and everything for our fall programs especially. So if you haven't signed up and you're listening to this, please get your child signed up. I looked at the spring numbers. Baseball is at 29, softball is 26, boys track is at 20, and girls track is at 12. Those track numbers are considerable growth from, I believe last year was 6 and 4. And the baseball numbers are still solid, so it's not like we're pulling kids out of one to the other. Always want more kids, so if you're interested in baseball or running, please sign up. That's all I got for you this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Howie. Good report. Snyder report, Mrs. Morel.
Good evening, get your calendar out, Mr. Cole. Bring these dates down. Just some advance notice for PSSA dates, grades 3 through 6, ELA will start 4/22 to 4/24. Math will go 4/28 to 4/29, those are for everyone in grades 3 through 6. And then this year, the shift begins for 5th grade to take that science test, so 5th grade only will take science, 4:30 and 5/1. Kindergarten registration, you must be
Thank you, Mrs. Morel. And on that note, we'll go to the Northern Tier Career Center, and I will, again, one of the things I'm continuing to stress is the demonstration night. I won't hold this up. But anyway, that is on Thursday, March the 6th, 6 till 7:30 p.m. This is, like I said, it's an outstanding way to find out what the Career Center actually does for prospective students, for students as well down there, moms and dads, and also siblings. They're also welcome, grandparents as well. Down there at demonstration night, again, that's March the 6th, 6 till 7:30 p.m. And if you do go early because, like I said, they will pack the place. Want to give a couple of shout outs to a couple of cosmetology students, Maslin Van Duzer as well as Molly Shaw. They took place in the District 6 competitions that were held down at Penn College over the weekend as far as their Skills USA competition. And also administrators at the Northern Tier Career Center. They had a meeting with the Northern Tier Regional Planning and Development Committee as well, and local industry, just to see how they need to align their needs with the opportunities for the center students down there. So, and the next meeting for the Career Center will be, let's see here, 8:15. How about February the 20th, 6 p.m.?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. And I didn't even need a calendar, Mrs. Morel, so. Committee reports. Anyone that would like to give a committee report this evening?
I'm ready, Ron. So I'm understanding that the microphone was not working, so they could not hear us at home. So I wanted to reiterate for athletics, Mr. Howie, for signups for the 25-26 school year are open. So hopefully everyone can hear that now. Boys basketball is third in our district, and their senior night is on Wednesday. So congratulations to those guys for their very impressive season. Hope to see them through a little bit further. Swimming, Olivia Thompson, Dominic Music, and Austin Quattrini qualified for districts. Congratulations to them. Wrestling is moving towards sectionals, boys and girls, so that's great. Girls' senior night for basketball is tonight. Thank you to Abby and Morgan for their dedication to our program for the last few years. They will certainly be missed, but we are looking forward to continuing to grow that program in the coming years. That is it.
Thank you, Mrs. Blythe. Anyone else that would like to give a committee report at this time? If not, I promise to make my board president's report quick. Just wanted to say it's good to be with everyone again this evening. Tomorrow, I want to make sure that everyone knows that Governor Shapiro will be presenting his 25-26 budget for the Commonwealth. And February 7th at noon, PSBA, a little pitch for them, will be having a breakdown for education. If anyone's interested in seeing what's going on there, go to my PSBA and you can log in. Our search for Dr. Delosio's superintendent position. So far, we have 3 candidates, and they are all from within the Bradford County area. So we'll be forwarding this on and keeping everyone up to date on that. Again, as Mrs. Blythe said, a lot of our swimmers, wrestlers, and basketball players have had some great results over the past few weeks, and thank you to all who were at the games, first of all, for the pink game for the girls. I'm glad to see that's back in session. Great donations to the Breast Cancer Fund, and the boys game versus Troy for a fine donation to that tragic event of that family down in Wyalusing last month. Let's shout out to Emily Chilson. She was our PMEA band rep from Sayre for the flute. Great job. We appreciate her representing our school district. And lastly, don't forget to go to the website and Facebook. There's lots of information out there of all the good things that our students are doing, our teachers, and everyone else that's involved here in the Sayre Area School District. So, Dr. Delosio, it's yours.
All right, thank you. I only have one thing to report on. I wanted to let everyone know that we're continuing work on the comprehensive plan. There's a large team of parents, teachers, administrators, board members working collectively together to build the comprehensive plan, which is required by the state. It used to be every 6 years. It is now every 3 years. We have combined our comp plan with also some strategic planning and leaning on the expertise of Mr. Rich, one of our parents here in the area, as he is helping us out with that process. And so we'll transition from the comp plan when we have that piece done to the strategic planning and keeping that moving forward. So I know that both Chris Podolinsky and Mr. Rich are here this evening, and I appreciate their time. We started in November, we met in January, we're meeting next Wednesday again, so we have a lot of work to do to put that document together for the state and really making plans for the future. We have narrowed some things down to have what I would call pillars that we're going to focus in on, build those goals, and then behind that we'll do some action planning and share that out along the way. So the one thing they're working on right now is each group is working on goal writing, and then they'll present that to the full team, and we'll push back and challenge and ask questions for them to dig deeper and make sure those goals are solidified before we bring those forward to the board. So that's the next step that they're working on right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Delosio. Our next Board of Directors meeting will be here in the library, 7 p.m. on February the 18th. Athletics and Recreation Committee meeting, they'll also be meeting here in the library on Monday, February 10th at 5:30 p.m. So on that note, if there's anyone else that would like to bring something before the board at this time. Okay, vote to adjourn.
Motion.
All right.